Hey mom, so I wanted to do a quick episode about new moms and newborn babies, especially first time moms. So one of my really close friends, Emily, I'm calling you out. She's having her first child in the next 2 weeks sometime. It's a boy, and I'm super excited for her. And she's made me, watching her go through this process has made me start thinking about like all the things when I had my first and all the advice I wished I had, or reminders, I guess you could say, that I wished I had. And so I wanted to do an episode because I know she's not the only new first time mom out there. So here are some of my quick tips. Okay. First of all, let people help you. You have nothing to prove. I know I always felt like people were watching me, scrutinizing over every little thing that I did with my baby, maybe even judging me. And that is just not true. Like anybody who's had a child who's been there before, those people want to help. They know how hard it is. And as a new mom, you kind of feel that urge to like prove yourself and show that you can do it and all of those things. And that's just not necessary. If you can kind of plan ahead of time to let people help you, it will definitely be an easier time. Don't discount the hormones. Like sometimes I underestimated the hormones with all three of my children, but especially with the first child because I just didn't know what to expect. You can't like mentally overpower the hormones. Like if you decide that you want to cry over the tiniest little thing, you're going to cry over the tiniest little thing. Like I remember I spilt water and cried. Someone looked at me funny and I cried. Just little things would happen. You drop the passy 3 times on the floor in a row. And each time you have to go wash it, and so those little things, like they would frustrate me and make me cry. Then there's the things like the baby's not doing what you want it to do. And sometimes your hormones, especially when the baby's crying, will make you go a little bit cuckoo bananas. So just don't discount those hormones. Like it's allowed to be an excuse. Okay. If you need to say, I'm sorry, I'm crying, or I'm sorry, I'm angry. I'm sorry, I'm doing this or that. It's the hormones. You're totally fine to do that and say that. Okay. The other thing is don't beat yourself up over the little stuff. Like, babies are super sensitive, but they're not breakable, okay? Their skin is sensitive, they have rashes, they have baby acne, they have cradle cap, they have all these different things that happen, especially in the first few weeks, and none of that is your fault. None of that is exclusive to your child. It has nothing to do with your parenting, something you're doing right or wrong. It is just the way that it is. There are lots of tips and tricks on handling some of those things. I remember one time specifically, I was changing my baby's diaper on the floor, and it was a carpeted floor. And I had this little bottle of lotion that had the little squirt spout on it. Okay, so I set the squirt spout next to his head, and I was squirting it and then rubbing it on his body, squirting it, rubbing it. And then all of a sudden, it just falls over. It fell right in his eye. I felt like the worst mom ever. I thought I broke my child. He had never cried that hard. This was on like day 3. I just want to say these things happen, okay? It's okay. You did not do anything wrong, and try not to stress yourself out and just give yourself like all this mom guilt in the first couple of days because these little bitty things happen, okay? Next, trust your mom instinct. With Tate, I hate telling like negative stories because then moms are like, oh, that's going to happen to me, or what if that happens to me? Tate came home, his first night home from the hospital, had a fever, and we had to go back to the hospital. He had like some protein in his urine or something like that and had to get some things checked out, and we were there for like 4 or 5 days. He got stuck with needles and all things like that, and it was my 3rd child, so I felt like, okay, I'm prepared for this. I know how to mom, whatever. And I was definitely not prepared for that. And nothing can prepare you really for your child being in any sort of like having to deal with any sort of medical issues. But we are strong. Moms are strong from the moment we get those children, whether they're coming into our care or they're growing inside of us. From the moment we become mothers, we get some sort of superpower that allows us to be strong in moments when we really, really, really want to be weak. So just remember that, you got this. A couple just quick tips: drink lots of water, lots and lots of water, even if you're not breastfeeding. If you are, especially drink lots of water, because your body's, creating a source for your child. So you definitely want to drink lots of water. But even if you're not, you definitely want to, your body is adjusting to having that child outside of your body instead of inside. So you want to drink lots of water. Snuggle as much as you want. Do not let anyone make you feel bad for not having a baby on a routine during his first few weeks of life, or hers. This isn't just for Emily, but snuggle all that you want and take as many pictures as you want, because at this point they grow so fast. I don't think it's true that it happens so fast. Like, I don't think it goes by in a flash or anything necessarily. I didn't feel that way. I think people who say it goes by in a flash are people who don't have children currently in their home, because I personally feel like the days are long. But still, especially during their first few days and weeks, you want to take as many pictures as possible, because just that they change so fast. They look different from day 1 than on day 6 when they're that small. So, and to all the moms out there, we love you, and we hope you have easy, safe deliveries and you have great first weeks with your babies. And to my friend Emily, I love you dearly, and I know you're going to do great. Okay, that's all I have. Bye, moms.